Welcome back. In front of me today is a 1993 Toyota Corolla sedan. Now, this isn't just your average North American boring grandpa Corolla. This is a Japanese spec SE Limited Corolla, the AE104 chassis to be specific. What does that mean? That means it's got a 5-speed manual transmission. It's got Toyota's super robust 90s style full-time 4-wheel drive system, which is a hydro-mechanical 4-wheel drive. This one even has a center locking differential from the factory. It's finished in this really cool pearlescent beige. And this was a one-owner, senior-owned vehicle out of Japan when we got it. It is a SE Limited, which means it's got some really nice comfort plush features, making it a heck of a lot more comfortable than the 93 Corollas that were sold here. So in this video, we're gonna walk around the outside features, go through the inside, and we're even gonna take it for a little test drive. So come along with me on the video and we'll learn a little bit more about this wacky car. So it's powered by Toyota's 4A FE engine. That's a 1.6 liter fuel injected 4-cylinder engine. These engines were the same engines used in the Corollas here and a whole laundry list of other models throughout the world, Japan and other countries. They are super simple, super reliable. Really, guys, these are some of the best gasoline-powered petrol engines that Toyota made in the 90s. And I always get excited when we have one in front of us. A lot of people think, oh, that's boring. But you know what? If you really knew the nitty-gritty about these engines, you might be as excited as I am. So going around the outside, this is its original paint. It has some badging down the sides, a little weather-worn, but you guys can make it out. Full-time 4-wheel drive, denoting that this is an AE104 full-time 4-wheel drive. Another cool feature is these center caps are kind of bronzed out to match the paint. That was a factory touch. So this is the SE Limited trim. You're reminded of that by the badging here along the rear deck lid. Now, since we are in fact listing this one for sale at our dealership here in Portland, Oregon, I'm going to go through some of the imperfections. We'll start with the outside. There's scuffing along this plastic bumper cover here. Here, a lot of it was touched up by the owner in Japan. There's a lot of little, scratches and rock chips that were touched up. So they're all about, a little bit of bigger one here, here, and down here. So just, from use over the years, elderly driving, narrow streets of Japan, kind of what you'd expect. Front plastic bumper cover. Also, we've got the same touch-up areas here, down here, kind of where you'd scuff it up, where you would expect to see those scuffs here and here. We haven't refinished these. We're presenting the car like we do with so many of our vehicles as original as possible. There's a little more touch-up areas here and up here. But really in great shape. For those of you who know, these cars are kind of impossible to find in this spec. And if you don't know, now you do. We do this every day, all day. We deal with these specialty, low mileage, original vehicles. A lot of them are Toyotas from Japan and all over the world, Australia, Europe. So I really love this spec of Corolla. This is like the ultimate daily all-purpose vehicle. It kicks ass in snow. It really just is an all-around super car. Paint is in good shape. There's no clear coat fading. There is no significant body damage other than the little scuffs on the bumper covers I just went over. So let's take a peek inside now that I've given you the exterior overview. Look in the front. So we've got these simple door cards. They're finished in this nice 90s style cloth velour. Power window switch, door latch. Looking inside, these seats are super comfortable. You've got to sit in them to understand what I'm talking about. They're in really good shape. We've got the original floor mats, extra plush JDM style floor mats with the, you know, bare carpet below. Headliner is in really nice shape. Let's go around to the driver's side and see what's happening over there. Again, master door card with your master window switch, window lock, door locks, all your window switches. The driver's side is auto down and auto up, one touch. Driver's seat is in great shape. There is just one cigarette burn here. This doesn't really smell like a smoker car. There was no like cigarette smell in it, but a lot of people smoked in Japan in the 90s, and this isn't uncommon. That said, it smells really nice inside. Floor mats also. All right, let's swing in. I'll show you guys some of the controls. Got this really cool skinny 4-spoke wheel. In front of us, gauge cluster, 128,270 kilometers. You know, fuel gauge, speedo, tach, temp gauge. Basic stuff. It's got the auto AC feature, which is part of the SE Limited package. So you can set it to auto here, and it will kind of just maintain your temperature as you set it. It's got your basic AM, FM, and an auxiliary Toyota tape deck here. These both work. This one's a little spotty. I'd say replacing these is, you know, something that most people do for just a more modern listening experience. Shift lever shifts really nice and tight. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. Parking brake, super tight, holds the car where it should. Hidden cup holders here, that's a nice feature. And an ashtray and cigarette lighter. Hazards. Everything works as it should. This is the magic switch right here. This is the center diff lock switch. So you engage that when you're in a low traction situation. Maybe you've lost traction, you're stuck. That's an extra tool that locks your front and rear axles so you don't get cross wheel spin and you're not sitting there spinning one wheel. It's really kind of an unheard of feature nowadays, in especially sedans, and it just makes this car that much more badass. Okay, cool. So that's kind of the front. We do have nice intermittent features, some of the more premium features that a lot of Corollas didn't get unless they were optioned with them. Clock here, all that stuff works nicely. Take a look in the back. It's not too exciting, but we like to be thorough. So it's a 5-seater, and you've got a nice fold down center armrest there if you're seating 2 back here. Again, this fabric's in really good shape. And we've got all the original floor mats here. Really clean stuff. There is a center console here, which I could have showed it from the inside front, but it's got 2 levels of storage. And of course, the obligatory 90s ashtray there. So, the door cards are in good shape back here as well. You have a seat back pocket in the behind the front passenger seat only. Let's take a peek in the trunk while we're at it. Kind of what you'd expect, the back of one of these. Underneath all this stuff, you've got your spare donut, and you've got your tools, jack, and all that. So you can change out your spare as you need to. Yes, very exciting. Okay, so a lot of you guys have been requesting to see the engine bay, so I'm going to pop the hood and we will take a look at that before we take it for a drive. Here it is, the 4A FE engine. Got the proper under stickers. All right, there it is. It's a 16 valve electronic fuel injected 1.6 liter engine. Here's your plate, Toyota build plate, airbox, tiny little battery. Radiator is in good shape. We've made a few repairs on this car. Didn't need a whole lot, but did a bunch of stuff, including a new window regulator. We had some capacitors replaced in the cluster. And then other than your basic service, that's pretty much all she needed. Let's take it for a drive. What do you guys say? Got the key right up here. Factory original key. Let's fire it up, see how it goes. Start it up. Fires right up. We've got the AC on. It's blowing nice and cold. It's a beautiful warm day here, so really good time to test that out. Heat works phenomenally too. Power mirrors work. Four-wheel drive works great as well. So here we are off on our journey. Let's get seatbelts on. So the first thing you'll notice when you drive this car is really how peppy it is, how fun it is, how inviting it is to want to be driven. It's really surprising because, you know, you look at a Corolla, a 90s Corolla, and you think, well, what's so special about that? But this thing is a little bit of a sleeper. I'm not saying it's a fast car by any means, but it is certainly very fun to drive, surprisingly fun. And it's really hard to describe, but it really just feels alive. It's got really tight handling. Puts down some decent power. It's certainly a responsive engine. I really like it in the 5-speed. The traction is all there. You know, up here in the Pacific Northwest, we get snow occasionally. We get lots of rain, so low traction conditions is where a vehicle like this really shines. It was designed for that. These are really popular vehicles. In fact, a lot of these get imported into Siberia because the folks out there know just how good they are in, you know, adverse climates. These cars keep going. They really do not demand much maintenance at all. And in many cases, when you're trying to get around climates where really sometimes maybe it's life or death, freeze to death, that sort of thing, this is the kind of car you're going to want to have. So cruises nice and straight down the road. The brakes stop nice and strong. There's no pulling to the right or the left, or no pulsating or anything like that. Transmission shifts real strong and smooth. No surprises there. The ride is quite compliant. I think that these were sprung differently with the limited trim, but it does ride really nice. It's very soft. It absorbs the bumps and corrugations in the road really well. I'm sure, you know, it's beyond what you'd expect from a 1993 Corolla, and I've driven some North American spec Corollas. This is a few clicks above those on all fronts. Just more comfort, more power features, and just more features in general, not to mention the main one being the full-time four-wheel drive system and the center diff lock, which is just sweet. They're not easy to find in this spec. We spend a full-time job looking for vehicles like this, and we don't see too many of them, to be quite honest. Super easy to navigate the roads. This thing just zips around town like it's nobody's business. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, brief overview of this 1993 Corolla AE104 SE Limited Japanese spec sedan. We are offering this one for sale. Check us out, Ottoex.com, Ottoex, or at Ottoex on Instagram. Reach out, give us a call, shoot us an email, leave us a comment. What do you guys think of this car? Did you have this generation of a four-wheel drive Corolla in your country? We love to know. We love to hear your stories in the comments, whether you're a customer or just an enthusiast or just stumbled upon us. Reach out. We read them all. And if you're interested in this car, it's for sale at the time of this video being filmed. It may not be for sale in the future, but we leave all the videos up just because we like to have a whole, share all the stories and share all the info with the world. So, yes, catch us on the next one. Stay in touch, and as always, thanks for watching.